Hey, what's up, everyone? So this episode is a little different. I think I'm going to be calling these ones Instasodes. And the reason behind that is because I'm going to be kind of regurgitating some recent posts that are mostly based around mindset and perspective, something where, I really put out some writing about the post, and I want to be able to unpack the thought process behind what it is that I was writing, because I feel like, especially when I get, great response from people on it, like people really appreciated it. I feel like, why not unpack it more, because I can always do that. It's called Rabbit Holes, Roxy Rabbit Holes. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. I know some of my friends listening right now are fucking laughing their asses off. Okay, so there's this post recently that I put up, and the actual image is of words, and the words are, "Don't stumble over something behind you." I'm going to repeat it. Don't stumble over something behind you. It's really fucking good, right? I love it. So I'm going to read what I wrote and then just dig into a little bit. So, okay. If it's a thought that is not supporting your momentum forward towards all that you envision, then it is a waste of prime real estate in the mind that ultimately slows down the entire process of creating those desires into your life. There's so much to look forward to. Appreciation within your now is the surest bridge between the gap. Keep your inner eyes on the prize. It's all waiting for you. So oftentimes I can write a lot longer than that, but I feel like, the message was clear and concise in those amount of words. But I really am a believer that wherever we're looking is where we're going. I mean, it's going to become repetitive, fair warning now, but it's actually, those words are much more than just words, that I'm repeating. Truth be told, they're words that constantly come up, throughout the week for me, where let's just say I'm projecting too far ahead, and maybe what I'm thinking isn't, feeling good. It's maybe I'm looking at something kind of from a, worried perspective, or, fearful, or just something that's not that whole, confident, sure, and essentially a feel-good perspective. What I do is I call myself out with those very words. Where are you looking, Rox? Because wherever you're looking, that's where you're going. So is that where you want to go? Because that's where you're taking yourself right now. And, it immediately resets me. It puts me right back in the present moment, which is where real life is happening anyways. And I feel better immediately. Like, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, cool. And so with this post, don't stumble over something behind you, whether we're looking too far ahead and, putting some not feeling good thoughts in that space between now and then, or we're looking behind us, which is such a common thing as well. If it's like I said in my message, if it's not supporting the forward momentum towards everything that we, want to create for our lives and envision for our lives, then it really is just taking up really valuable space, really important, potent energy that could be applied and better invested to get us where it is that we aim to go, that we want to go. I oftentimes, I like to use this kind of analogy where, if you get in your car and you need to get from point A to point B, but you're looking behind you, you're looking in the rear view mirror, I mean, you're definitely not going to get to point B, and you're probably going to, crash before you even get anywhere. Because you can't do it. How do you focus on going in one direction when you're looking in the opposite? It's just, I don't understand how that would even, it's not logical. So, easier said than done sometimes, because we get, the past is compelling for some reason, and the past could be an hour ago. The past Could be just a few minutes ago, or it could be several years ago. But the whole point about the past is that it's just not right now. And, unless it's something, and I've said this before just recently, unless it's something that's really a beautiful thought that's, perpetuating more forward momentum and, fortifying your strength and your, capabilities, then what's the fucking point of, investing in the behind thought, and so there you have it. Don't stumble over something behind you, because that, here's the thing, even though it's behind us, if we're heavily focused on it, we will stumble in our process right now. Moving forward, we're going to stumble on what's behind it. It's really interesting, isn't it? So a lot of you guys actually really loved that post, and I love that because, I feel value in it, hence my reasons for posting it. And so I just thought that I would, amplify the message a bit more in this short, bite-sized Instasode, and and hopefully, remind you guys that wherever you're looking is where you're going, and you really are the composer in your life. You are the navigator. You do have the power to direct your entire process, and you have the opportunity to gain everything that you believe in and that you want to achieve for yourself. So I say the surest way to getting there, I said this in my post, is, when we appreciate everything that we have, everything that we've lived, even the not fun shit, because the not fun shit, obviously there's value in that. If we choose to find the value in it, there's always great things that we can pull from it. And I feel like when we focus on appreciation, it's liberating. That's a hashtag I use often in Black Belt Beauty, and appreciation is freedom, because it really does release us from, things that just don't feel good. You can't feel good and appreciate, or not feel good and appreciate at the same time. I mean, I don't, know if that's possible, even if you're having a shitty day, let's just say, but you choose to, look to the moments that did offer some, smiles, some joy, whether it was, a conversation with your best friend, or a hug from your partner, or, the walk with your dog, whatever it is, even if it was the smallest thing. If that's where you're looking versus, you got rear-ended, or, you got a new tax bill, whatever, you're filling yourself up in a way that is so valuable to your entire process, in the now and in your tomorrow, because that's energy that carries you forward, instead of holding you prisoner into, something that doesn't feel good. And especially, something that is already behind you, because what's done is done, right? What's done is fucking done. So I definitely use that when I start to feel kind of off, disaligned. And it's so easy for me to feel that now these days because, gratefully my default setting is alignment. I definitely, day in, day out, I feel very self-connected and, connected to my entire process. And a lot of that I know stems from obvious experience and of just life and my process. But I will say that I believe that how I spend my morning is a great factor in why my default setting has become so strongly what it is. And that's going to be another solo-sode. I've spoken, or I've written about morning rituals, my morning ritual, several times over Black Belt Beauty's Instagram. But I think it's going to be cool to really, now that I have this podcast, to break it down with my voice and really, give you guys some, like a sneak peek into what my personal process and ritual is in the morning and how it affects me on a day-to-day basis. And then, with the hope that it can inspire your own process, because it really, I'll say this, for example, my ability to catch myself from when I do feel disaligned is because I feel like a sense of kind of uneasiness, right? And part of that stems from the fact that I'm, for the most part, I am feeling at ease in my life. The other part, though, that I feel is a major contributor is that, every morning I meditate for about 20 minutes, sometimes longer. And, in meditation, you discover how to really focus. And so when you are not focused in your meditation, when you get to a certain point within your practice, you quickly can catch it. Like, oh shit, okay, where did I go? Okay, now bring it back. And it's that catching and bringing back that is the money, because you got to think, like, throughout the day, we get pulled in so many different directions, right? And so when you have the ability to catch yourself from, being spread out too thin, or, essentially kind of being so reactive to the things pulling you different directions, you're able to snap, focus, and bring yourself back in. So here let me go back to the words. When I'm not feeling, if I feel a little off or I'm kind of projecting too far ahead, I have that ability, that switch that, and it doesn't take long for me to go, where are you looking? Because that's where you're going. Is that where you want to go? So it's like the same thing, right? In meditation and so I will definitely create a solo-sode about morning rituals, because I feel like it, like I said, it's going to be something that, can offer some, inspiration and really applicable, tools that could potentially really help you in your process, which would be so cool. I would love it so much, Okay, before I go off into a deep rabbit hole, I am just going to send you guys some love, sign out, and I hope you like this little Instasode, a little me and my solo-sodes and my Instasodes. These are definitely going to be a little more, whoa, slow down. These are definitely going to be, more bite-sized, but again, the intention behind them is just to amplify the message and, leave you feeling good. That's always what I want to leave you feeling. Leave you feeling good, empowered, inspired, motivated, and hopefully, offer some kind of, insight, tools, strategies, depending on what the episode is actually about, that you can apply to your own process so you can keep kicking ass in your life. Who doesn't want to kick ass? I do. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in again, and I'll catch you on the next one.